So for the next few minutes, we're just going to take a pause. And as you're sitting and we're about to move into this experience, you may have all kinds of thoughts, worries, concerns flooding and racing through your mind. And that's okay. We're not going to do anything about that except observe what's happening. And by observing, what I mean is we're not going to get involved like we do as we're moving through the day, and we get caught up in these emotions and thoughts, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's really normal. But for this experience, and it's just going to be from 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to do something different, which is just allow those things, those thoughts, those emotions, to do their thing while we observe them. And that can be a little tricky because we often think of these thoughts and ideas as just part of the normal process. But when you think about it, whenever you're having a thought, something's observing that thought. And that's what we're going to move into. And the same goes for emotions. So if you'll indulge me just for a few minutes, let's get into that space now. Find a comfortable position, sitting, ideally, back straight, but not uncomfortably so. Find a place where you feel comfortable. Move your back around a little bit, stretch it. Start to let your body know that this is not a painful experience, something that you have to do. It's going to feel good. And you're going to be listening to your body. That's what we're going to start with. So as you're sitting there, I want you to start to take some deep breaths. Let's start with 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And hold it. And then let it out. Slow. And then again. Hold. And then let it go. And take one more breath. Good. Now just breathe normally, but notice that breathing. Notice the air come into your nose, rush into your lungs, and then imagine it spilling out again as you exhale. So much meditation begins with noticing the breath. And the reason that we do this, there's nothing magic about the breath. What we're trying to do is move our awareness away from our thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with those thoughts. I'm not saying thoughts are bad. And all the emotions that are spilling around inside of us. And just bringing our attention to something else, to the body. And we don't pay enough attention to the body. And that's where we first feel emotion, which gives rise to thought. And by shifting our attention to the body, we can start to understand the origin of the thoughts that are overwhelming to us. And they build and they cascade. And that can be really helpful. Just slowing down. So I want you to take just a few breaths. We're going to take 5 breaths, normal breaths. Just pay attention to the air rushing in your nose, into your lungs. Imagine it if you have to. And then going out again. I'll come back in a moment. Okay. Now it's important to note that there's no wrong way to meditate. And we don't even have to call it meditation, because it gets a bad rap. All we're really doing is just slowing down and paying attention to what's happening, not just in our head. Again, nothing wrong with thought, but thoughts are often tied to emotion, and we want to understand why our thoughts are racing, why we're feeling thought that is linked to anxiety or whatever's happening in our body. And to do that, we have to step back into the body. And that means out of our thoughts for just a moment. It's not forever. So rather than doing a full body scan, just kind of take a full body picture. Just feel as much as you can of the whole of your body together in this one moment. Get a sense of your physical space. And we're not judging anything, we're just feeling. And once you've done that, again, breathe normally, but keep noticing your breath. Start to move around your body and looking for anything that just doesn't feel good or right. Right now, as I do my initial scan, everything feels okay, and that's usually how it is. But we're looking for tightness, a disconcerting, uncomfortable feeling in our gut, pain in our shoulders, neck. If we're holding anger, sometimes that will sort of congeal around the throat. These are emotions. They live within us. We can identify different parts of our body where they are. And whatever you're feeling right now, it has a location. And if you're feeling it and it's feeling uncomfortable, it wants attention. And that's it. And we often don't want to give it that attention because we feel if we give it attention, it's just going to be strong and overwhelm us. But that overwhelming feeling comes from these different parts of us that don't feel like they're getting attention. And so they get louder and louder and louder. But once they have their say, once they feel felt and understood, they start to recede. They've done their job. They'll come back. But what we're developing over the next few minutes in this first meditation is a practice of noticing and realizing that we're not going to be overwhelmed by feeling something. And as we move into our morning and our afternoon, generally speaking, over time, if you practice this, those feelings don't rise to the level of overwhelm any longer. They know they're going to be heard and that they're going to have their time. So start to find, locate, move over their body, and look for those places. Sometimes it's tension, sometimes it's pain, but you're letting your body know now that, hey, I'm aware of you and where these various emotions are stored inside of you and living. And I'm bringing my attention to you, as I'll continue to do. And if you feel the different parts of yourself that don't feel right now, kind of relax. Breathe a sigh of relief at that statement. Let your whole body feel that. If you want to sigh, just get a signal. Letting those parts know that this is their time. And as you move through your body and you start to locate these parts, these aches, that discomfort, just stay with that for just a moment and just feel it, even if it is uncomfortable. We're not trying to reassure it or soothe it. We're just feeling it. Right now, I feel a pain in my back, my left side. I'm just feeling that. I'm okay with it. You can do that too, wherever it is. And as you've experienced it, tapping into your deep innermost wisdom, which is always right, you can trust it. The pain that you're feeling, you can validate that, honor it, and you can inquire into it. Why are you feeling this way? Just ask that question. It may feel silly. When I inquire into the pain into my shoulder, I know that has something to do with stress that I'm feeling about my life, my job. It's anxiety, uncertainty, wariness. And I'm going to honor that. I'm going to feel both the pain and also recognize that origin. And again, I'm not here to soothe it, but I'm going to return to my core wisdom, which is where my confidence lies, my knowing things that I can accomplish, that I have. And I'm just going to let it feel that. We're not reassuring, we're just letting it feel our, hey, we've got this. We do. And not let that confidence and that love for ourselves and that part that's hurting, wash over it through whatever metaphor you want to use. You like to use light. Imagine your love and your comfort and your compassion for that part. Feel like a light orb moving over the face of that part, or water rushing over it, cleansing it. And you'll often start to feel that part relax. My back is now relaxing. And as it relaxes, move into that space. It can mean different things to different people, but when we have these parts that are in pain, they push us out, our true self. And when we feel into it, we get to move back into our body and expand into it. So if you can, and it's okay if you can, move into that space as it relaxes. And take a few moments to move to any different or areas of your body where you're feeling anything at all that just doesn't feel right. Notice the pain or the ache first. Feel into it. And then when you have that feeling, you understand it, ask the question, what's going on there? And the intent is not to soothe. Hey, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It knows better. It's not what it wants. It wants to be felt. But I don't want to feel. That's what we're here to do. Just the next few minutes. You're putting yourself at the center of your attention with compassion and curiosity. We so often fail to do this. But it is exactly what we need to come to a place of calm. And then, as we move into our day, when we practice this focused attention, we can move into that space much more quickly when we're starting to feel something. Not immediately, it takes time. So just take a few more minutes to locate anything that feels off. All right. We're coming to the end of this meditation, my first personalized meditation. And we're going to end it by just moving over those different parts that you identified and letting them know you're aware that they're there, of their origin, of the feelings that they're expressing, but that they expressed now today, which I'm hoping relax them. And we're just going to say goodbye for the moment, but we're going to be checking in on a more routine basis. That will often relax them as well. And then I want you to imagine at your heart center a tiny particle of pure light right at your heart center. And this heart, or this particle at your heart center, is your love for yourself and for all the things in the world that give you meaning and that you love. And I want you to start to feel it expand. Whitest light you've ever seen, glowing brightly, softly, bright as the sun, but gentle. It's going to span to encompass your heart. And then it will start to move out until it reaches all of those parts you identified, radiating love as it passes through each of them, engulfs them, unifies them, until the light expands outside of your body and you are this perfect expression of love, holding everything, all of those aches, all of your thoughts, not soothing, not reassuring, just holding with love and wisdom and gentleness and curiosity. And with this abiding truth that, hey, you're okay. Everything's okay. And all of you is loved. And as you are engulfed in that beam, particle expanded over your whole of your body, you're going to take 3 more big deep breaths. Hold and release. Breathe in that light and love into yourself. And one more. And then when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Have a beautiful day.